Welcome in to We Talk Ball, a college football show with Chris and Austin. Hope everybody had a great quarterfinal playoffs. Uh, we didn't, Austin.
No, we did not. I
We did not have
kudos
fun.
to kudos to us though. For people that don't know us and know our history in handling losses, to know that we both pulled it together and did a reaction show right after both of those games, that's pretty impressive, man. That's growth on our part. I'm proud of us.
I feel like you did a lot better than me. I
I
was
was-
pretty. I was pretty
to
toast.
to be fair, I had been laughing about mine for the last hour and a half because we were getting blowed out. So, yeah, if it was the last second thing like the Georgia game was, yeah, I don't know if I could have pulled it
Yeah,
together. But shout out to
it's
Pops for holding us all together.
yeah. Pops held mine together for sure. Coach Pops held the Ole Miss Georgia reaction very well for me. So yeah, if anybody wants to see the live reactions, they're on YouTube, all of them except the Ohio State Miami one. We didn't get to do that one. So shit, let's just jump right into it, man. It's probably gonna be a shorter show today. Just recapping a couple of games, but we'll do portal stuff down the road. Miami 24, Ohio State 14. I don't know. We got a lot of hate. It's particularly on TikTok when I would mention anytime, and I know you've mentioned it, Austin. Anytime we would mention Ohio State and their schedule, and we would talk about, obviously they were a good team. I think that's evident. They're very talented, but we did always question, is this team, the going into the Big Ten championship game, it was the general consensus was this team's gonna just go through 4 games and it was a wrap. Like Ohio State
Yeah,
was the overwhelming favorite. And I think now people should pay attention to the schedules and how they look against their toughest competition because we mentioned it on the preview. We picked Ohio State. Oh, I did. I can't remember who you picked. I think you picked.
I picked him.
Yeah.
I said that I had questions, but uh, I did pick him. What you
I,
laughing at, man?
I just seen that.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, the best defenses they played 14, 10, and 14. Um, I think that's kind of the story of the game is their offense credit to Miami's defense. They did a
yeah.
phenomenal job. But yeah, when they played the best defenses, man, they just couldn't get enough points. And
Well,
yeah.
I'll let you dive more into the numbers because I'm sure you've got them there. But you know me, I'm more what I watch and what I see on the field.
Mhm.
And I said all season that I think, and I still think Ohio State's defense is legit. One of, if not the best defense in the country.
Yep.
But that offense just what is not ready.
No, it was it was a bad weekend for We Talk Ball. I'm here for you guys as a friend and a shoulder to lean on from Athletes Forum podcast.
Hey, you know what though? What one thing I love, and this kind of comment on what athletes said. I don't hate a team in the playoffs now.
I don't either.
So I get to just kick back and watch what I think are going to be two, let's call it three, counting the national championship, really good football games.
Point spreads are pretty
Yeah,
pretty damn close.
yeah, they
Pretty
are.
damn close. I think that the most surprising thing from that game to me, and one of the main reasons I picked Ohio State was because I didn't, as much as I thought the offense was flawed, as much as I thought there was some, what would you call it, fraud alert on Ohio State's offense, I didn't think that with the defense. And I thought they were going to be able to shut down Fletcher. And to me, that was the most important part to secure them a victory because I thought they could put it on Carson Beck's shoulder. And now credit to Carson Beck, he did a pretty good job. But Fletcher had 90 yards rushing. I think it was on like 15 carries or something like that. But
Yeah,
he had a
they
successful day rushing.
they did have the pick six as well.
Yeah, they did have a pick
So
six.
that helped kind of put some separation, I think, on the scoreboard. But no, I mean it. I'm with you, Miami. I mean, I still don't think the offense is elite,
Mhm.
which is it's very hard. I know this is a look back show, but it's very hard not to think about what that offense is and their lack of offense versus their great defense against Ole Miss's offensive powerhouse. Um, I can't wait to see it. But
Oh, yeah.
we're talking last week now. We'll talk that next week.
I can't
Uh,
wait. I mean, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That's my favorite game. That's
yeah.
my favorite game. It's gonna be awesome. I wasn't I mean, man, Bane. How much more do we need to say about him? We say his name a lot on this show.
Dude should have been player of the game. I don't know if a D lineman's ever won player of a game, but
He should have been.
he impacted that game more than anybody on the field.
Absolutely.
Even when he wasn't the one making a sack or whatever. I mean, even if you go back and watch the pick that kind of sealed the end of the game, he
Mm.
didn't make the hit that caused him to throw it early, but he was the one who, when he came around the edge, um, forced Julian Sand to have to step up, and he stepped up into the guy that ended up hitting him. But that dude is, I can't wait to watch him on Sunday.
Oh, I can't either. I wish my Cowboys sucked enough to get him. I mean,
You
we
you
suck.
know
We don't
you
suck enough.
know most time when you're watching the draft, it's boring when your team's taking like an O lineman or a D lineman. You
Mm.
know, you're kind of like, all right, we needed that, but whatever. No, he's going to be like, I mean, I'll if the Falcons grabbed him, I'd be cheering like, they just got the top quarterback.
I would too. I would too. Is it Indiana versus the field? Shout out to the Hoosiers. Shout out to the Hoosiers showing a lot of love. Hey, we'll get to that in just a minute. We're gonna move on to the next one because I do have a lot to say about that. A lot to say about it. And my Hoosiers. I say that because TikTok. We'll get to that in a minute. My TikTok's been giving me. I'm gonna get to them. In 23, Texas Tech 0. Hey, real quick, if our guy Jamal, who's Athletes Forum podcast that you just seen me bring up on the comments, he is part of the College Sports Crew now. He has a show called The Sideline that comes out on Wednesdays, I believe. That he does. Phenomenal show, number one. And he just did a Orange Bowl vlog because he went to the game. It's a 7-minute video, not real long, but really well done. And it's on our channel, and you can go watch it. It's a phenomenal watch. Jamal went and just did a Orange Bowl vlog, and it was awesome. It was a cool thing. So I encourage you to go check that out at College Sports Crew. Oregon 23, Texas Tech 0. I felt like we nailed this one because I said the biggest question was Texas Tech's offense, and I went after it with I went after some Texas Tech fans that were coming after me with the whole 39 points per game kind of crap. And I was like, you got to look under the hood. And before that game, they were 51st in percentage of plays going 0 or less yards, and they were 98th in red zone touchdown rate. They have a phenomenal defense, but the offense, yeah, they scored a lot of points in the Big 12, but I was worried about them going up against Oregon with that kind of offense, and I think I proved correctly because they couldn't do anything offensively. Oregon just shut them down, and I
Yeah.
mean 23-0. So
When they interviewed Texas Tech's coach, like, I don't know, sometime in the second quarter. And when they say, Coach, what do you need to do to get your offense going? And his response is, we need to get our first down just so we can get things going. That kind of tells you how that game went.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, uh, I do worry. Or how about our guy Pops, Coach Pops, with mentioning to watch out for number 4. Now his name's slipping my mind. The DB that had like 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. He said before the game to watch out for that guy. And sure enough, I think he ended up winning the MVP of the game.
I know he got defensive MVP. He might have got MVP of the whole game.
Yeah.
You're
So
right. And what's scary though, and I shouldn't say scary, but this was another, I don't know. I mean, it's 23 nothing, but it still wasn't pretty on the Oregon side. But I still feel good about them winning ball games.
I literally wrote that down on my notes. I was like, I do worry about Oregon's offense going
Yeah, I mean, but I've worried about it all season, and they again, we've talked about it. Uh, they just find ways to win a game.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, they against the best offenses they played, they've scored 20, 18, and 23. And that's Indiana, Iowa, and Texas Tech. Now they won 2 of those, and lost
I was
1.
gonna say you went 2-1 in that
You got
stretch.
2 and 1 in that stretch. I do worry about that going forward because I mean now it is, as we've mentioned, and as we'll get to in another game, it is hard to beat a team twice. So
Yeah, this Oregon Indiana matchup, and again, we'll get more in depth in it next week, but it's intriguing to me because obviously Indiana looks to be the odds-on favorite right now, right? I don't think
yeah,
anybody
they're
would think that
favorites.
they don't look like it. Um, but I feel like they put so much emphasis on that Bama game, and they came out in that game to win that game 38-3. Let's be
Mhm.
honest. That was the plan. Um,
Kurt had a killer mentality look
he
in his
did.
eyes. He
He
looked
did.
possessed.
Like I said, as a non-Bama fan, I love that look in his eyes.
Yeah.
As a Bama fan, I wanted to punch him, but uh, but anyhow, no, he did. He had just a different look about him, and they came out to win that game 38-3. That was the plan all along. It wasn't if we're going to win; it's how big are we going to win by. And kudos to them. Um, can you keep that same mentality through the rest of the playoffs? Yeah, I mean, you can, but will they?
They can.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think it is crazy to think Indiana may just be Beacon.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
I don't think we're not on to that game, but it's a free flow show and we got to kill some time because we're only 12 minutes in. Uh,
Yeah.
I do think it's I mean, I don't even know. I still like I've been on the Indiana bandwagon for so long that I'm still though going to be totally shocked when they win it all, or if they win it all. Like I don't. Is our college football minds ready for this? Like, are we ready for
Well,
the
dude,
X?
you made, and I wish it would take us forever to go back and find it, but we were talking at some point during the season, and you talked about how crazy would it be, and the two teams you said would be if a team like Indiana or a team like Ole Miss were to win a national championship. We're one game away from them playing for the national championship. Those
Yeah,
two teams. Like, how crazy is that?
my mind can't wrap around it. I can't wrap around it. I can't wrap around mentioning Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia have all been eliminated. Like
By
even if you want to go, I know what by Indiana and
Indiana and Ole Miss.
I still can't wrap my head around it all. Like even though I've been yelling from the rooftops that Indiana is good enough to win national championships, I've yelled that since the Oregon game. But I still have not been able to process or wrap my head around that it's actually going to possibly happen. And crazy to me.
Well, to be fair, we had this debate last year, right? All season, and they got to the playoffs and kind of locked up, and it was like, all right, we were right in what we were thinking. Like they're good enough to go through their schedule, but when you
Mhm.
start playing with the big boys, it kind of showed up.
Yeah.
Um, Not yet this
No,
year.
no. And what's really cool about the 4 remaining teams is we're gonna have a head coach win his first national championship. That's guaranteed. None of these 4 left have won a national championship as a head coach. Hell, one of the head coaches has only been a head coach for 2 damn games. How crazy.
But they've all won a national championship before, right?
Yes, yes. Dan Lanning, Kurt Cinetti. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me on that one.
Anyhow, no,
Yeah,
look, again, the 4 teams left, I truly don't care who wins it. There's a great story
yeah,
behind all 4 teams.
mm-mm. Yeah, I don't either. I really don't care either. I have a preference and I have a ranking in order, but I really wouldn't mind either of them. None of them winning. We didn't do this with Ohio State because it's been a couple of days. I got a little rust I got to knock off, so we'll just lump it together. What's next for Ohio State and Texas Tech? I think Texas Tech is obvious. Like all the money you spent on defense, maybe scale back a little on the defense. Not all the way. Keep spending on defense. Maybe go balance that budget and you got to go get some dudes on offense. I think it's as
Yeah,
simple as that for Texas Tech.
yeah. Um, no, I agree with you.
And then
Sorry, I was
uh,
texting my wife to bring me a drink. I got a
yeah, I
frog in my
hear
throat.
it. I mean, Ohio State, I don't know. I guess just I would probably say don't let Ryan Day take the reins again as play caller. And I'm
Yeah,
not saying that just because of one game. I think if you haven't watched our show, I've always said I didn't like Ryan Day, the play caller.
yeah. No, I agree with that. And not only that, I don't know that Ohio State probably maybe beef up the O-line a little bit.
Hmm.
But outside of that, I mean, I think I mean you had a rookie quarterback.
Yeah,
And
who did
still
okay.
yeah, I mean I think he did fine. But I think he'll grow. I think he'll learn. Um, I think he made some rookie mistakes. I don't know if you remember that, but the pick six,
Hmm.
we're not the X and O's guys like Coach Pops and Adam can be, but Coach Pops said that that play wasn't called by Ryan Day. He said um, saying checked into that. So I think little things like that. Um, he'll grow and learn from that, and I think the offense will continue to get better. And I mean the defense is fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean Ohio State's always going to win a bunch of games. They got enough players that it'll always be what it is. I'm gonna have to do it next. So go on ahead. You got any? You gave a live reaction. You've had now. We did that live reaction what Thursday. You've had Friday, Saturday, and now all day Sunday. I'm sure you've thought about that game a couple of times. Any
So,
additional thoughts?
so here's all I'll say, and I kind of said this the other day, but I don't know if I articulated it correctly or not. But in these in every game, minus the Georgia game, minus the Georgia game, but in the Ohio State game, in the Texas Tech game, and this game here, everything that we questioned, everything that we talked about all season long, it gets blown up when you're playing against top competition. And we can talk bad about our teams all we want. Yes, Bama got blowed out 38-3, but damn it, we were in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. So, there's only 8 teams that can say that in the country. So the rest of you can't say a word about it. But
Yeah,
so no, I don't have anything to add other than we played exactly like we had all season. We just played higher. We played a high competition, high talented team that was and they were motivated on top of being talented. And we gave them short fields all day, just like we had all year. I don't know how many times I've talked about that. Um, and it showed up.
yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't say it any better on the Alabama's side of things. Only thing I would add on the Bama side of things is, as people on this show know, and if you're watching from TikTok, you know that I do quite a few TikTok lives, and the general sentiment was I was out of my effing mind for picking Indiana, and it's crazy to me that it took Indiana beating Alabama for it to get respect. And I'm not taking a shot at Alabama Trust me, I am not. But I didn't understand the quiet, and it didn't come from Austin, who's a Bama fan. But I did not
I picked
understand.
Indiana up until the show
Yeah,
before, and I did that just because I was
yeah,
getting fired up for the game.
yeah, and like I didn't understand the quiet confidence. I kept hearing on TikTok from people like, "This is the healthiest we've been. This is the healthiest we've been," and it was. But I pushed back and said, "You had problems when you were healthy too. Like even when you were winning." Like there was clear problems. There was a lack of a pass rush. There was a lack of a run game. There was things that were issues then. So I never understood the quiet confidence. Now I didn't expect 38-3. I'll be the first to tell
No,
you I didn't expect that. And honestly, when the game first started, it looked like it was going to kind of be back and forth for a good hot 5 minutes.
I mean the defense. Look, I think we
Yeah.
sacked him 2 out of 3 plays on the first drive. And I was like, "Hey, here we go,
Oh, here we go. That's what
here
I
we
did
go."
too.
Hey,
I perked up.
I was standing up in the living room doing a little clapping, and
Yeah.
it didn't take long. I sat down.
Yeah, I did too. I perked up and I said, "Okay, here we go." The because we had a discussion about Mendoza and his ability against better defenses and how he's looked. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They got a couple sacks. I was like, "All right, here we go." And credit to them, they did it. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad people are finally seeing that Indiana's elite. I've done a few TikToks after that game, and the conversation has quickly turned. I guess my only thing was I didn't understand why it took the Bama game. Not that Bama isn't a good team; they were in the playoffs, and
Yeah,
but I was a believer. I was like, people should have been believing in this team long time ago. I thought you could see a difference between this year and last year's team, but that's just me. But going forward, though, for Alabama, we talked about this. I seen Ty Simpson mentioned, or his agent mentioned, they're going to be making a decision either to draft Porter or stay in. I'll be
yeah,
curious. That'll be a big decision.
it will be. I saw Tennessee and Oregon mentioned.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I did.
sorry,
I did.
my kids are running through here real quick.
Oh
But
no, we're not a serious show. Me and you are not serious.
um, but yeah, I did see that. That'll be interesting. I don't know. It's like I said in the reaction show. Yes, Ty's got some things to work on. This season was not Ty's fault.
No, I said that today on TikTok Live. Somebody asked me on one of our lives, what would I do with Ty Simpson? And I said, I think he's very similar to what I said about Arch Manning. I'm not comparing the two players. I'm comparing the two situations that I felt like
Yeah.
Arch got way too much hate compared to the laundry list of things that
Well,
was a
I
problem.
I will say this: if you don't fix the O line and the run game, then you better swap quarterbacks that can make something happen. We better go after Chambliss if he
Yeah,
gets if he gets to play. We need somebody like that.
yeah.
Um,
I said this on the live show, and I felt like you could correct me wrong. I felt like you and Sean kind of pushed back a little bit on it. I'm not. I do want to clear this up because I do think this may have been misunderstood. I'm not saying they should bench Ty Simpson. I've clearly stated that I don't think Ty Simpson's the biggest problem there. I think he's so far down the list. But I would be okay with the idea of DeBoer and Grubb sitting him down, going, "We obviously want you back, but there's going to be an open competition."
yeah,
I, I feel like that would be okay. I don't feel like he did so great enough that I should just give him guaranteed that he's got the job next year, because
yeah,
I feel like the problems that they had this year, it might have been better to go to a more mobile quarterback. And I don't know. I was kind of shocked by that with Grubb, but I don't know. That's just my thing. I think I would tell him, and maybe they already have. Maybe that's why he's thinking the portal's a potential thing,
yeah,
because he is being told you are welcome back with open arms, but we're not going to guarantee you the starting job. You definitely have a leg up. I mean,
yeah.
you have a leg up in the competition, but it's going to be an open competition. That's what I would do.
Sorry, I was reading that. Did you see that comment just come in?
No, actually, I have no comments that come in.
Pete, no, not comment. Sorry, Pete
Oh,
Thamel just posted. I thought it was something breaking. It's not.
oh, I was sitting here freaking
He's
out like my computer's messed up.
nah. Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati.
All that. Never
He's
mind.
leaving his LSU visit, but has not made a commitment.
Well, did you see another breaking news? A crystal ball pick. I can't remember who it was, or maybe it was an on three pick. Um, has been logged for him to land at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That would be massive for Texas
Um.
Tech.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
think so
massive.
too. I mean, I think he'd be better suited at
LSU.
Texas Tech than he would. I think he was better
Do
suited at
you?
Texas Tech. I do.
I really think it would have been. I really think LSU because I just think that all that stuff. I'm still not 100% sold on Sorsby. I'm not like 100% sold on Sorsby. And tell Caitlin I said hey, and I love her. Uh, I hear her
Yeah, she just
getting on the Maggie.
she had tried to leave the puppy out here, and then she started whimpering, wanting to go inside. So I was like, "Come get her."
But yeah, I I don't know. I like the fit for LSU better, but I mean I think it'll be good. That Texas Tech offensive coordinator has a good system too, so it'll probably
Yeah,
work. It'd be yeah, I think it'd be good news for Texas Tech. I think his ceiling is super high,
yeah.
super high. I've been trying to avoid it. I've also been trying to get to like the 30-minute mark just so we don't go only 25 minutes tonight. Uh, I also was just trying to avoid it because I don't feel like doing it, but you did it. I gotta do it. And people on TikTok asked me how I was doing. I said, actually, I've gotten quite over it. I've moved on to the portal. I've kind of, accepted it and I unplugged last night. I kind of, turned the internet off. I watched a movie. I think I watched a couple of documentaries. I played NCAA 26 freshman level, beat Ole Miss 100-0. I did a couple of I did a couple of things, and then I told TikTok, I said, but damn it, I have to get on YouTube now tonight and relive it all over again. So yeah, Ole Miss 39, UGA 34. Me and Austin talked about this on the phone. I can't remember when because we talk on the phone all the time. It might have been yesterday or the day before, but we can talk about Kirby's conservativeness before the half. We can talk about Bobo's bad play calling at certain times, not the whole game, despite what Bobo haters say. We can talk about some of his bad calls. We can talk about Gunner missing players here and there wide open. We could talk about Gunner, having those up and downs throughout the games. We can talk about the lack of pass rush. We can talk about all these things. And they would all be true. But I do think at the end of the day, it just boils down to Trinidad played out of his effing mind and had an out of a body experience. And he's an elite quarterback. And he played like it. And he had the only few little times we did generate a pass rush on him, he Houdini'd it. And
Yeah,
I just, we again a lot of the hate for Georgia fans on Bobo. I get it. I do think I think he had like it was the second half, first 4 second half possessions. They only got like 3 points. So I get it. Bad for first possessions in the second half. But to me, at the end of the day, you scored 34 points. And I just think sometimes it's as simple as the guy had his Johnny Manziel, Nick Saban moment. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't know
That's
what
the
you do.
game. That's the game that comes to my mind. That year that Manziel beat Bama in College Station, like there was nothing you could do. I mean, the guy couldn't miss a pass, and the more you tried to blitz him or sack him, you think you'd have him, and then next thing you know. But anyhow,
Yeah.
um, yeah, look. I couldn't say it better on this game. Yeah, there's 100 different things you could point to, but at the end of the game, they were part of a football game. Um,
I
you
mean,
still put up 34 points, so it's not like you played terribly offensively.
no.
You
You had
know,
spurts.
you did, and I kind of think. Do you get the feeling that because, and I don't want to say a Kirby Smart coach team would be this, but because your offense was so successful in that first game, that they kind of just went with the same type game plan
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
and got a little confident in that because it did feel like a couple of times that they just felt like they could bully Ole Miss's defense and
and they
kudos to
did
them
for a
that
little bit.
they did, but kudos to them for kind of stepping
Yeah,
up. You know, I mean, it's bad to say it feels like your defense played well when you gave up 34 points, but for Ole Miss, I feel like they played much better defensively than they did in that first game, and it felt like Bobo still felt like they could just go out and have their way with them, and then next thing you know, a couple plays didn't go just right, and you know, and then next thing you know, you're losing. I
yeah,
mean, you know, what's
yeah. I
funny?
mean,
I
yeah,
talked to somebody who went to bed with 8 minutes left to go in the game because you were down by 10, and I was like, you know, it was a tie game before the game was over, right? And they were like,
I,
what? And then they were like, well, hell, I'm glad I went to bed because I
yeah.
would have. Mm.
I turned it off. I turned it off before we tied it. Or I didn't turn it off. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to the room and I'm going to go get the show ready and I'm gonna sit on live stream until until Austin and or Sean pops up. I'm not. And then I was sitting at my desk. I was not watching it. I heard my wife, who doesn't watch football, but seeing how defeated her husband was, I heard her in the living room going, cheering. There you go, there you go. And I was like, that's interesting.
And then
That's
look down the hallway a little bit, like what's going
I
on
didn't
in
even look
there?
down the hallway. I grabbed my Roku remote and
Uh,
I turned it on the TV and I said, well, let me go to ESPN. And we hadn't scored yet, but it was right before the branch catch. Then we called it. And of course, my TV's behind her TV's. So I hear her cheering even more. And when he scored, I didn't even cheer or nothing. I just went, gonna just suck me in.
yep.
Just suck me right back in it. And yeah, I finished watching it on my desk. I was literally like this the whole time. Just like, go ahead, break my heart. Better quarterback, Stetson or Gunner? I don't even think it's close. I think it's Stetson. I think Stetson. Gunner's a really good quarterback. Gunner's a
Can I
game.
can I
Yeah,
say
go ahead.
this? Can I say Stetson's a better quarterback, but Gunner's a better football player?
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
And then I think kind of what you're wanting to say now. Um, Gunner's a baller, man.
No, he is. He is. I just think Stetson's was more aggressive.
Mhm.
Like Stetson had that gunslinger mentality, and some people hate that. I actually love it. Like I'll take a couple of boneheaded interceptions to be aggressive and hit. Gunner to me is a little gun shy. No pun intended. He's a little gun shy at times, man. And I don't know if that's some Kirby and Bobo or Bobo haters. I wouldn't say Kirby haters, but Kirby mindset of Kirby's a super ultra conservative guy. They have it convinced in their head that they beat it into Gunner's head not to turn the ball over, and maybe that's the case. I could probably see it with Kirby for sure. But
You
Stetson,
think
yeah,
you think maybe that's amplified a little bit by having Carson Beck?
yeah, probably, probably, yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. I like Stetson. I think Stetson was better because I think Stetson was a way better college football passer than people give him credit for. And hasn't hell, he made a couple of plays in the NFL too. Um, but yeah, I think Stetson was way better. But yeah, I don't know. Moving forward for Georgia, I think. Well, I'll say this before we go to that, and then we'll end the show here shortly. I think going into this game, I think why this game hurt me most than the Notre Dame one last year. Um, had nothing to do with Notre Dame or anything like that. It was just last year. I did not feel like that Georgia team could win a national championship at any point during that season. I never did. And then you add the Carson Beck injury, Gunnar Stockton making his first real start. I really had no expectations that Georgia could just go all the way. This season, probably first time since 23, maybe. I felt going not in going into the season. I felt by the Texas game, after that Texas game ended, I was pretty convinced Georgia was gonna win it. Like,
Yeah.
I was pretty convinced Georgia was gonna win it. I felt pretty dead good, and, maybe I should stop doing that. But, I felt pretty dead good, and I think that's why this loss was pretty rough on most Georgia fans. Because after that Texas game and then you went and didn't look good against Georgia Tech, but you kinda chalked that up to Thanksgiving week, it was a rivalry game, blah, 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 and then you go and you beat Bama 28-7, which it was the biggest boogeyman, the biggest monkey off your back type situation, and to do it in that fashion, whatever you felt after the Texas game, it amplified. It
Yeah.
amplified. I guess now going back, you could go, well, honestly, we didn't look that great in that game despite winning 28-7 because a lot of our touchdowns were short fields. But living in the moment when you beat Bama 28-7, your biggest boogeyman, your the team that you just can't get over the hump. At that time, you were like, "Oh yeah, we finna run through this shit like it ain't funny." And then another
But
year where you get eliminated first game.
here's the problem. I shouldn't say problem. When you, especially as you continue to expand this thing, when you get into playoff type situations, you're playing the best teams in the country
Yeah.
weeks in a row. In Georgia's case, you come out of the SEC championship, into playing Ole Miss. Um, anybody can win on any given Saturday.
Yeah.
Look at like I always compare it to March Madness and college basketball. They put 64 teams in, and there's a number one seed who loses against a 16 seed
Mhm.
almost every single year. And that's because when you get in a playoff type situation, you're going to get everything the other team has.
Yeah.
And I just, uh, that's why I don't know if I like it in football because it almost feels like outside of Indiana, it doesn't feel like this is the top four best teams in the country playing. And that's no disrespect. I shouldn't, I don't want that to come off as disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you took the top 10 teams and said rank them 1 through 10 right now, this would not be hardly anybody's top 4.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Indiana, maybe, yeah. Indiana.
No, Indiana, yeah, I said that
Yeah.
without
Yeah,
Indiana.
you're right. You did say that.
Um,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think, man, I can't
but on the
games.
flip side of that, they were awesome to watch. They were fun to watch.
Yeah.
So give it to me.
Yeah.
We just you have to get out of that mindset. I mean, take Georgia for instance. You would have had to beat Bama in the SEC championship, turn around, beat Ole Miss, turn around, beat Miami, and then go play Indiana for a national championship. Like that, and I'm just using Georgia as an example. Any team that wins it's got to go that same road.
Yep.
Um, it can just happen to anybody on any given day.
Yep. And I went on an epic rant on TikTok Live. I got quite a few comments from it was a few Ohio State fans, Bama fans, and the rant started with Bama fans. I finally went on my rant that I've gone on the phone with you. You've gone on as a Bama fan. Um, Bama fans, as usual, and I say this all the time, and I say this out of love. My favorite place to go visit when a team loses is Bama fans because they're still in the most epic meltdowns of all meltdowns. Georgia's creeping up there. Let me say that. I sent a couple of screenshots of some thread titles on message boards to Coach Pops. There was a couple of fire Kirby's in there. Yeah, so Georgia fans creeping up there into Bama territory. But I went on a rant on TikTok because a couple of Bama fans come in there and they did the normal thing. DeBoer needs to be fired. Da, 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 da. And I did the whole. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm not in the mood. But I did the whole welcome to real college football. Like you're just a normal ass college football team. There is nothing wrong with you. I don't know if DeBoer. I still think DeBoer's great. I haven't got there yet with him. I've gotten mad at him a couple of times this season. but I'm not there yet. And yeah, I had an epic rant, and I got a few cheers for it though because I'm just so tired of the disc. Like Georgia message boards is in absolute shambles right now, and it's
Listen,
so unbearable to visit when I'm trying to go. I'm trying to move on, so I'm trying to go to these boards to visit and see portal news now because we're now in the portal season. Georgia fans, we're done. It's now time for us to focus on 2026. So as a Georgia fan, I'm moving on and trying, but these jackasses want to carry this shit for days. That we're now Kirby needs to retire. He's the new Dabo, by the way. Um, yeah, I don't know what to tell people, man. 12 wins out of how many games did we play? 14. 12 wins
yeah.
out of 14. SEC
Listen,
championship and playoffs. I'm pretty happy.
and you know what? As mad as I was with Bama's season, and like you said, I still don't know if DeBoer's the right guy. Um, there's times I don't feel he is the right fit,
Me too.
but then there's times I feel like he is the right guy to, because he's in the toughest position in the country to come behind Nick Saban.
Yeah.
But as we've talked about it, we set this up when we knew it was coming. No, everybody knew it was coming, and I'll say what here in a second. But now that it's here, you can't it's like you can't wrap your mind around it. The days of winning national championships 5 out of 7 seasons and and being dominant year in and year out in this day of college football, I'm telling you, it's gone.
Gone.
Ohio State tried to say that was gonna be them, and look at them. You went one and done to Carson Beck. So
Mm.
miss me with that.
Yeah. I try to tell Georgia. I told Georgia fans back in 2022 when they won the second one, I said that's probably going to be the last one you ever witness.
I won't say that.
I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
not saying it's
but you
most likely, but it may.
but it's like I said though, in a playoff type situation, Georgia could play Ole Miss 10 times and they might win
Mhm.
8 of them. But you
Yeah.
got Ole Miss best. They didn't want to go home
Mm-mm.
and they found and they beat you. And that kind of stuff happens in a playoff type situation. And that's not even factoring in the days of the portal. The reason Bama was so good for all those years because our third string guy could start anywhere in the country, but Nick
Mhm.
Saban was good enough to get him to come to Bama.
Yeah.
Um, in the days of the portal, they're not gonna play third string. They're gonna go somewhere else. So the depth of teams are different, and that's a whole nother rant. But I just think in the playoff era to win it, to say it's national championship or bust, you can say make the playoffs or bust. For me this season, Bama was make the playoffs and win the first round, and I'm happy.
Yep. For
And
certain teams, yeah, that's going to be the case.
yeah,
Mhm. Georgia too.
but
I would have been that way with Georgia.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
yes,
not this.
Georgia had higher expectations. I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, you lost to a good football team in a playoff type situation.
Mm,
That can happen any day.
yeah.
So
Didn't realize we have some D3 national championship tonight. The Wisconsin River Falls versus North Central. But we also have to transition that before we go. We have a FCS national championship tomorrow.
yeah,
Uh,
we do.
the Illinois State versus those stinking, sorry, pathetic Montana State Bobcats.
They put out your boys, didn't they?
Yep. So I don't have much on this game. I am rooting for Southern Illinois. I think Montana State's going to beat the shit out of them.
What's the spread? Do you know?
I don't know, but I
Oh,
think it's yeah, it's
it's it's
big.
it's Montana State -10.
I thought so. Illinois State is a team that kind of went on a run that was unexpected. They were not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
Which, don't get me to go on this rant. This is why I hate expanded playoffs because it puts teams. Never mind.
that's what we just said. That's what
Never
I
mind.
just said.
Yeah. I'd have much rather have seen Montana State versus like, I don't know, North Dakota State. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, You put more emphasis on the playoff games than you do the national championship,
No.
and sometimes it feels that way in where we're at with college football. You
Yeah.
know, but I'm not gonna complain, man. The playoffs are fun. There's been some
They
great games.
they
This last week, New Year's Day was awesome. To
oh,
bring I got to end 2025 watching Ohio State lose, and I ain't even gonna hide it. I enjoyed the hell out of that. So I
yes.
ended my year on a good note, and then got to wake up, get moving around, and Oregon Texas Tech was on at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then
It was a
I
great
wish
day.
I wish there was other games on after that Oregon Texas Tech game, but I don't remember any games after that.
You know what was funny before we leave? I did go back and watch, not all of it, but I was looking at the live reaction show we did on the on the Bama Indiana game. And then I went and watched the one of me and Sean on the Georgia Ole Miss one. And the stark differences between me and those
Well,
I
to be
looked
fair, one was at like 7 o'clock, one was at midnight. So maybe
yeah,
you're just tired.
but I don't think I meant to do this, but I kind of looked extremely giddy at your pain. Um, like, when I was watching, I was smiling a lot. I was laughing quite a bit. I was
Yeah.
having a lot of fun, and then when you go turn on our Ole Miss one, it looks like a pathetic human being.
I'll be honest.
You
I'll be honest. So that the end of the Ole Miss Georgia game. Matter of fact, I took a little nap in the third quarter. And I had my wife. I said, "Wake me up in the fourth quarter," because like I was fighting for my life, like trying to stay
Mhm.
awake. And I obviously woke up and saw the fourth quarter and the end of the game, and I was this close to getting out of bed and coming to get on that live. But I knew, like, I mean, my team had got beat 38-3, so we deserved to just lay in bed and
You're a
sit down
better
and shut
man than
up.
me. You're a better
Yeah.
man than me because 'cause I'd have got out of that bed.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. My wife said she said this. She was pulling for Ole Miss so hard because she
He
said
was.
she's because look, we're Bama fans that live in Georgia, so
Yeah,
obviously all of our good friends are Georgia fans.
yeah.
Okay, we're also those type of people, like we can still be friends just because because you're a Georgia fan. But she said if I gotta be miserable, so do my friends. They can't be happy. So that's all she cared about.
Chief among them me because Caitlin loves my misery. She loves my misery. But, thoughts on the SEC performances bowl season, or is it hard to judge because where we are at college football? I mean, I don't know. I find myself not caring, but it isn't a good look for the SEC. When you do as much talking as the SEC does,
Yeah.
you can have better performance. We can talk
Uh,
all this, stuff.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Because I caught myself like wanting to look up, who started, who played, who did,
Mm.
and at the end of the day, if you claim to be the best conference, then when you have the
Figure it
opportunity
out.
to show it, go show it.
Yeah, figure it out.
Um,
'Cause the other team that won figured it out.
yeah,
Go win.
not to mention, I mean, for me, it's mainly the quarterback that I look at. Did they start? And we
Mhm.
started most of our quarterbacks. Um,
Let me look.
I know, huh?
Is Caitlin close to you?
No.
Okay. I was gonna tell her to get on live and answer this question because he's wanting to know from the wife about the quarterback, from Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Hold on, watch this. Let's just go crazy. Is the
She
kids
ain't
in
gonna. She no.
okay,
She
never mind. I
said
was gonna call
she
her.
she ain't gonna know who Philo is.
Oh, she don't?
I doubt it.
Okay. Wow. I was gonna call her and put it on a speaker and put it onto the mic, but I think I heard Charlie. So,
Yeah, they're
I'm
all three in there right now.
yeah, so all right, guys. We're gonna get off here. I'm done talking of my misery and
Yeah,
Boston, but I am
I'm ready
so
to look
excited.
forward. Forward.
Oh my god, I can't wait till Thursday.
I mean, you
Holy
got, dude. I can't help but think like you got. We already mentioned the Ole Miss versus Miami, that defense versus that offense. Like something's got to give. And then you look at Indiana and Oregon. These teams gave up a combined 3 points in the
Yeah.
quarterfinal games. Like, what is this? What is this game going to look? I bet the over under set at like 40 or something crazy.
Oh,
Um,
let's end it on this, Austin. No, not who you think will win it. We're not going to do that. We'll do that Tuesday. Not who you think would win it. What national championship matchup would Austin be the most excited for? I know we'd be excited for all of them, but which one is the one that's like, that's the one? I have one already that I want to actually happen. I'm kind of rooting for it, to be honest.
I mean, I guess the one I'm rooting for is Indiana Ole Miss.
Oh, okay. I didn't go that one.
Just because
Yeah, because of the
that's cool.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll go with that for now. Honestly, any of the matchups I'm excited for.
Oh
That's why
yeah, I
I'm
am
kind
too.
of 46.5.
Yeah, I am too. But I do have one I favor.
What's that?
I want to see Ole Miss Oregon. I
Dude,
want to see Ole Miss Oregon.
I think that'd be a
I think that would be awesome. Just like from a not even just from just if we're just take away the football side of it,
but
uniform wise,
then but
that would be cool.
oh yeah. But I also kind of want to see Bane get after Indiana's O line and
Yeah,
see what he can do.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
All the matchups are
Miami,
I'm
Oregon
getting
would be too.
yeah.
Woo!
They're all good. That's what I'm
Mario
telling you.
versus
Like when I think about it, there is not a
yeah,
game I'm not excited about.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh yeah, let's end on this. Was Lane Kiffin holding Ole Miss back? There's nobody on this show that loves Lane Kiffin more than him. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to piss a lot of people off when we do our top 25 coaches ranking this year and where I have Lane Kiffin posted. And me and Austin's probably going to go at it and probably Athletes Forum podcast because him and Austin tag teamed me on the Lane Kiffin discourse a couple of months ago. So that's been eating me. So I've been ready to rank him ungodly high just to get them too pissed off at me and us debate it. But hey, I can't argue. Pete Golden is I mean, Lane Kiffin couldn't beat Georgia this year. This year he did, but
Yeah,
all right,
but you know
guys.
what? Hey, Lane Kiffin is sitting at the house. Or matter of fact, he's watching LSU women's basketball game, and LSU just had to write him a check for like $1 million.
Collective money with each win.
You, you, hey, you remember the old Cat Williams skit where he said he followed the pimp manual line by fucking
Line.
line, baby.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
so
I'm telling you, that Ole Miss LSU game is going to be cinema. That's going to be
yeah,
cinema.
it really is, especially if Ole Miss wins the national championship.
Oh my god! Could you imagine?
Could you imagine? That's honestly why and I'm a Lane fan, but I'm like, give me the
Yeah,
drama. Give me the drama.
the
Bring it
drama.
on. That's good, clean drama now. So
Yeah,
bring it on. Let Lane Kiffin leave a team that he couldn't win a national championship
yeah,
with. So they go win a national championship.
yeah. I'm
Ah,
man. All right,
but
guys, we out of here. Catch us Tuesday. The games start Thursday, the semifinals. So we usually do our shows on Thursdays. We'll get back to that schedule now that the playoffs are nearing the end. But catch me, Austin, Adam. I got it confirmed with Adam. Another We Talk Ball SEC show collabo because it's maybe the last SEC show. Depends. Guess we'll see. But yeah, we'll all three get on here and we'll make our preview and our predictions for who's going to win in the semifinals. Please continue to follow at College Sports Crew. We're finally up to 76 subs. So we are inching
moving on up.
100. And once we get 100, maybe it'll be all uphill from there, or whatever the saying is. Maybe it'll be all down here from there. I don't know. But anyway, Grant said forgot it was 7 Eastern. That's good. Hey, it's all good, Grant. Check the replay. Actually, that helps us out a lot too. So watch the replay on YouTube. It should be uploaded as soon as I hit in live stream. So yeah, we'll check y'all out Tuesday, and y'all have a great night. Enjoy going back to work for some of us. Y'all have fun.
See ya.